Well, this is it. This is the one I know you've all been waiting for. Popo Part 2. If you'll notice, for this video, I am not accidentally wearing stripes. Yep. Going to prison. Going to jail. Just kidding. I'm not going to prison. Anyways, so here's what happened today. I had to leave last night college, early because I had to go home. And everyone was like, oh, why do you have to go home? And I was like, well, you see, I have to go to court. So I come home and I stay up all night as usual. And then I wake up at 7 o'clock this morning. I put my prison stripes on. I put my little nice pants on. And I look like an innocent, law-abiding citizen. And then we go to the courthouse. Luckily, my mom came with me because even though I'm 19 years old, I didn't want to go by myself, so I went with my mommy. Yeah. So we get there. We walk in, and my mom makes the buzzer go off. So I'm like, great. There goes all my shots of looking innocent. Just kidding. So then we go to the lady, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. Because I ain't ever had a ticket before, and I ain't ever had to go to court before, so I don't know what to do. So she's like, oh, you just have to, fill out this paperwork and then go up to the second floor and go on in. And I was like, okay. So I go up to the second floor and I fill out this paperwork that literally makes it sound like I'm about to go face, a felony charge. Because it's like, you do know that you have, the right to an attorney. If not, we will appoint one for you. You can plead guilty or not guilty. If you choose to plead not guilty, this is what will happen. I'm like, one, I do not need an attorney for a traffic ticket. I hope. Two, can you really plead not guilty to a traffic ticket? I didn't have my license on me. It was not present at the time of the pull over. I'm not going to plead not guilty to that. It happened. For sure. So anyways, so then we're sitting on the outside because I didn't know if you're just supposed to go in or there's rooms. There's 7 rooms of judges. I'm like, wow, there's a lot of people getting in trouble. And then I'm sitting there and there's all these sketchy looking people around wearing sagging their pants and wearing these big shirts. I'm over here in my prison stripes looking real professional. I'm looking around and I'm like, yeah, which one doesn't look like the others? Me, because I'm not a criminal. So then we wait outside because people were like, oh, they'll call you in. So I was like, okay, I don't want to just bust open into the judge's chambers and be like, what's up, dude? So I'm waiting outside for 15 minutes. Luckily, we were there early, but then it's 8:30, which is the time I am supposed to appear in court. And I was like, I ain't about to be late. So at 8:25, I just walked right in, which is what you were supposed to do. You just walk in real quiet and sit in the back. And then he's up there in behind his little desk in his little judge robe. And I wish he had the big poofy white hair, but they don't do that anymore. It's kind of a bummer. So I'm sitting there and not till 5. My bad, my mom just walked in. Mid-story, Mom, come on. Anyways, carrying on. So I'm sitting there in the judge's chambers while this dude's up there and the judge is talking to him and whatnot. I don't know what this guy got in trouble for, but he went ahead and pled not guilty. Then he left, and then the judge's little assistant comes waltzing over to me, and I hand her my paperwork, and then he goes up and he reads my case number, and I have to walk up to the front and stand behind this podium. I'm about pooping my pants. I was shaking so bad. I was I'm gonna fall down right now. I'm gonna need to just pull. So he reads me all my rights like I'm a felon, which I'm not anymore. And then he goes, knowing all of this, would you like to plead guilty or not guilty? And I'm just again, am I really going to plead not guilty to not having my license? Because how am I supposed to prove that it was, what? whatever, that's just the way the law has to work, I guess. So I was like, I plead guilty. I'm up here standing on the court, in the court, in front of this judge, saying, I plead guilty. Never have I ever felt more like a felon, a wanted criminal, America's most wanted in my life. Not fun. Then he's like, did anybody coerce you to say that you plead guilty? And I was like, no, I just done did the thing that they said I did. So I'm admitting to it. He asked me like 3 other questions, like if I was like forced to, bribed to, like blah, blah, blah. And I was like, no, it's just me saying that I did what they said that I did. Because I did. So then he goes, well, this is a misdemeanor, and that is punishable up to 90 days in jail and a heavy fine. And I was like, what? Apparently, I did wear the right shirt. But then he was like, I'm not going to send you to jail for not having your license. Don't worry. And I was like, you know what, sir? Maybe you could have started with that before I had a heart attack thinking I'm going to jail. But it's fine. No worries. No big deal. So then he's like, well, you know, you're going to get a pretty heavy fine and a couple points on your license. And he's like, the fine's $200. And I was like, what? Because if y'all remember part 1, when the cop pulled me over, he said, no, this ticket, you just have to go to the courthouse and prove that you do have a license and show the judge you have a license, and then I think it's like a $60 service fee. So I was like, okay, you know what? I'm not even mad. That's not that bad. Like, I could have got a speeding ticket for like $200, but I got a $60 like service fee. I can handle that. Nope, 200 smackaroos. Right out of the bank account. That's empty. I can't afford to be a criminal anymore. It's freaking expensive. Damn. So then, I asked the judge, and I was like, sir, me? Okay. See, the officer done told me that it was only going to be like $60, so like if we could make it more like that, that'd be great. But then the judge was like, I don't know what that guy's talking about because it's never only $60. It's always like $200. And I was like, well, that would have been nice to know. Maybe the officer should hit the books a little more. Do some research. So he knows what he's talking about. On second thought, maybe the officer should just retire because I wasn't even doing anything wrong in the first place. I was literally doing nothing. I just so happened to not have my license on me while I was doing nothing wrong. So then I went, I paid my freaking fine. I got all teary-eyed because it's a lot of money. I was like, man, this sucks. And my mom was like, it's okay. I was like, no, it's not. I'm poor. So yeah, now I'm out $200. But I will never forget my license ever again. Because apparently, everyone else gets like 7 chances before they actually get a ticket. But no, I get pulled over one time, doing nothing wrong, and I get slapped with $200. Well, I wish I got slapped with $200. I had to slap somebody else with $200. But yeah, that was the event for the day. I think that's all I got. And what is going... My bad. But yeah, then my mom took me out to Bob Evans and I got a free breakfast. So you know what? It wasn't all that bad. No, it was terrible. I'm still a felon.